everyone. I am Sudarshan, Assistant Professor, Department of Biomedical Engineering. So now we are going to continue from the last topic, which is as Internet of Things. So after a bit of introduction, now we are going to see architecture of IoT. So what is architecture? So basically architecture is a framework or a blueprint. Okay, it shows how your IoT works. So based on this structure, your IoT will start working. So which means without the previous layer or without the input from the previous layer, the next step won't be processing anything. So here you have three layers in IoT: perception layer, network layer, and application layer. The perception layer is also called as sensing layer. Okay, where the data is being sensed. Then it is all the data which is collected in the perception layer will be sent to the network layer. So where in the network layer the collected data will be transmitted using internet connectivity to a storage space or in a cloud. All the while by using cloud edge computing, these data which is being collected in the perception layer will be processed, and then it will be sent to your application layer. So in the application layer, you will be seeing the data which is collected in the previous layer. Okay, so we will go into perception layer. So it is a physical layer where all the physical data is collected from environment. So by using sensors or RFID tags or actuators or cameras, you will collect all the physical data. Now what happens to the physical data? When all the raw data are collected, okay, it detects a change in your physical environment. So for example, if you have a motion sensor in your sensing layer, whenever there is a change in movement, it is going to record the movement, correct? So it senses a physical change or disturbance in an environment. Okay, so once all this data is collected using a sensor or using some devices, it will convert all the real world signals into a digital data. Okay, so let me give you an example. So in your wearable devices, heart rate or temperature will be recorded. Okay, and all those data will be converted into a digital signal, which you see in your application layer. Okay, so next, so in sensors like humidity, gas, infrared or ultrasonic sensors. So what does your gas sensor senses? It senses whatever the gas which you have programmed or which you have bought the device for. Let's just say, for example, carbon monoxide sensors will be placed in caravans so that you don't get carbon poison. Okay, it senses carbon monoxide in your atmospheric level, and then it will either be connected to a alarm or a or a device. So it will send all these data into those. Okay, so next is network layer. So what is network layer? Basically, this network layer is actually responsible for transmitting all the data which is collected from the perception layer to another device or to a cloud storage. Okay, as we saw before, it is an interconnected network which shares data between each other. So therefore, by using network, you are going to transmit all these data from sensing layer to another layer. Okay, so it basically uses technology such as Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So Wi-Fi Bluetooth comes under wireless technology. So by using those wireless techniques, it will transfer those data. By using Ethernet or cellular networks, you can also transfer data. But depending upon the internet connectivity strength, the speed of data transferred will differ. Okay, so let me give you an example here too. So the same example like before, you have a wearable device. That wearable device will record your body temperature or your important vitals. Okay, but when you connect it to your mobile phone via Bluetooth, you can see all those vitals which was collected by your smartwatch or smart device in your application. So without those connectivity, all the data which is collected by your smart device cannot be transferred. Okay, so basically it acts as a gateway. It will allow data from one side to pass through the another side. So next is data processing. Why do you need processing? As I said to you before, since there are multiple data which is coming in, okay, you need to filter and process those data, okay, so that only vital informations are stored. Okay, so the data processing which will happen at the source. So raw data will be processed, okay, and then it will be transmitted to a storage space. Okay, so all these data is being processed. So what are all it uses? It uses a cloud platforms. Why do you need cloud platforms? So that from a remote end, you see all these data which is collected at a physical end. Okay, so for example, we will take a medical applications where somebody can monitor you from a remote end. Okay, you have all those wearable devices which is connected across you. Your vitals are being recorded, but it is connected to a network. So what it does is all these recorded vitals such as your heartbeats, such as your BP levels will be, oxygen levels will be transferred to a cloud storage. Okay, and since it has internet connectivity, somebody from a remote end, let's just say a doctor from a remote end, can see all these data in real time and can diagnose you from a remote space. Okay, but without the data processing, the doctor might not be able to understand what are all the data which is coming in. So you will use cloud platforms and then you will use edge computing to process those data. Okay, and since it processes those data, it detects some other signals and anomalies and then filter it out so that you have a proper value for your diagnostics. Okay, and then we will go into an application layer. So what is application layer? So your sensing layer will senses physical data. Your network layer will transmit those sensed data after filtering, after data processing. So application layer is where you see all these data which was recorded. It might either be an application in your mobile phones or application in your laptop or application in your computer or just a display where all these data being displayed. Just a monitor, okay, where you can see all these data. Okay, so for an example, you have a computer which has been installed an application. So when all these data being sent to you, you can see it. So I will give an example, CCTV. So when you have a CCTV network, Uh, the camera captures real-time data. It is being transferred to a cloud storage while using, by using an application layer, which is your mobile phones. By installing an application and logging into your data, you can see whatever happening in a real time. So we have all, have a CCTV camera in our parking where we can see whatever things are being happened at real time. So here you need basic mobile applications or some dashboards where you can see all these things. So what is the use for remote sensing? Okay, since the connectivity of internet, you can see all the data which was collected by the sensing layer in real time from a remote location. Okay, it is used for multiple purposes. So basically it is used for monitoring purpose, and when you connect an embedded system and give these as an input, you can use this and control an embedded system based on the input. I will give you a small example. Okay, you have a camera and a motion sensor in your car parking. Okay, so the camera records real-time movement in your parking garage, while the motion sensor will be actively looking for any changes in the physical environment. If we integrate it to an alarm system, so whenever there is a movement in your garage, the alarm triggers. So we are using it for our monitoring purposes. Okay. Thank you. We will see the next topic in the next slide. Thank you.